Hello everybody, here we are today talking about the top 5 teams in the league in terms of points percentage, where they stood last year, and what are some things that have gone right for them so far, or some things that are notable. So before we get started with it, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to me or hockey, whatever the case may be. That being said, let's get on into it. So coming in at number 5, you have the Washington Capitals. They're a team that made the playoffs last year as a wild card. Did get bounced in the first round and have kind of been stuck in a weird spot where they weren't really going to do anything, but they weren't going to be one of the worst teams in the league. So what do? They go out there and have a big offseason that is very fruitful. They have like 5 major moves, and it has rewarded them with a 5-1-0 start, if I'm not mistaken. They are a team that's been able to score a lot of goals, and they have some notable wins against teams like the Dallas Stars, the New Jersey Devils, and the Vegas Golden Knights. So I'm very excited to see how things will go here. Of course, you've got Ovi's goal record too that we're going to be keeping an eye out for. Washington is actually intriguing me for once. And then at number 4, you have the Minnesota Wild, the team that failed to make the playoffs last year. And this was an organization that had been there to the postseason plenty of times, but last season you kind of were wondering if this was going to be a weird transition, if they would get there, if they wouldn't. I said they wouldn't, but so far they're making me look bad. And at the beginning of the season, we can see a few notable things. 1, they have not trailed for a single second this season, as their 2 losses have come post-regulation. And then 2, they've been able to have a much better start than they had last year, where we saw Dean Evason end up getting fired. This team is coming off of a 5-1 win over the defending champions, the Florida Panthers. And for the Wild, it's not necessarily that they couldn't go out there and have a playoff caliber team. It's just the fact that we were saying, well, there's so many things up in the air right now, we're not sure if they can be good. 4th best in the league isn't too shabby, huh? And then coming in at number 3, you had the Calgary Flames, who didn't make the playoffs last year. It was actually their 2nd straight season not making it to the postseason. Not gonna lie, I didn't expect them to be good, but they are a good team at the moment at least. I did a video about them earlier in the week, and right now they apparently didn't get the memo that they're supposed to be bad, as they've captured 11 out of 12 possible points. Guys like Rasmus Anderson are having a good year. He's got 8 points in 6 games, and you're seeing somebody like Dustin Wolf really go out there and step up for this organization. In 3 starts, he has a .936 save percentage. Now, I will say the organization is going to be challenged here in the next week or so, maybe a little bit longer, as they have a tough stretch of games against teams like Carolina Hurricanes. But if they get through that and look relatively good, I think that my opinion about them may change a little bit. I still don't exactly know how this team is going to go. And I will say I would be shocked if they finished with the 5th best record in the league, 3rd best record. But hey, crazier things have happened before, right? And coming in at number 2, you have the New York Rangers. Now, the Rangers did make the playoffs last year, and they were the top team in the NHL, winning the President's Trophy. So for most teams, while being 2nd best in the league would be a good thing, I think for New York, they want to run it back yet again. And I think right now they're in a great spot at the moment. They have scored 4 goals or more in every single game they've played. And then they've got 3 games where they've scored 6 goals or more. This organization as well, too, is seeing somebody like Artemi Panarin go out there and have a monster season yet again. 13 points in just 6 games. The only thing really holding back the Rangers at the moment is the fact that Igor Shesterkin is yet to sign an extension, and that could be a problem. But at the moment, again, too, looking at this team just for this year, the odds of them going out there and possibly even claiming their 2nd President's Trophy with this group are relatively high, at least from what we're seeing at the moment. And then coming in at number 1, you have the Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg did make the playoffs last year after a big year, but this would be a huge deal for this Jets organization, as I think this version of the Jets has never won their division, and this would be wild if they'd go out there and win the President's Trophy. They've been able to go out and have a great start, obviously as the NHL's last undefeated team, but I think too, one thing that's cool is they've been able to win big, they've been able to flex their muscles and get a shutout as well, but they've also been able to go out there and win close games. This is an organization that, for whatever reason, I continuously undervalue. I think part of it stems from lack of playoff success, but from what we've seen over the past 2 years, they've been great. Obviously, Scott Arniel, I think, was the assistant coach for them before Bowness ended up stepping down. They had a good run with him last year. Things continue to look, again, good this year. Connor Hellebuyck has decided that allowing goals is not cool yet again, which is scary considering he would be in the hunt for his 3rd Vezina trophy after winning it last year. Winnipeg, go out there and continue to do your thing, because whatever it is, it's working. So overall, what are my thoughts on this? I don't really think that I have a big takeaway from all of this. At the moment, I think it's just kind of fun to see 3 teams, and especially looking at Washington, Calgary, and Minnesota, that didn't have fantastic years last year, that are having a good start to the season. Whether or not that holds, I don't really know. I would say that we definitely expected New York to be a good team. I said Winnipeg would be a playoff team. I expected them to anyway, but I wasn't expecting them to be this good. But it doesn't really bother me or impact me a lot. I'm really more focused on teams like especially Washington and Minnesota. I still am not sold on Calgary going out there and being a playoff team. But if they want to go out there and have these guys have those years and get some players that had been a little bit rusty involved in having, again, kind of a career resurgence, who am I to judge them? And then for Minnesota, I want to see if they can keep this thing going a little bit with the not trailing for a second in any game. That's kind of fun. Washington, there's so many things to like about this team for this year. So if any of these three sides were able to capture a top 5 spot in the league in terms of points percentage at the end of the year, I would be massively impressed. As for the other two, who knows? Maybe we could be looking at the President Trophy winner, New York yet again, Winnipeg for the first time. So anyway, what are your thoughts for the top 5 teams in terms of points percentage? Who will be the top 5 at the end of the year? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night. And you go love hockey, alright. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.